Hello.
Hey. Hi, Michelle. How are you?
I am good. How are you?
Fabulous. Enjoying the rain, enjoying the great South Florida weather. All is well.
I love it. I love it. And you can't tell that we're near each other because I'm hearing the same thunder and the same lightning. So, welcome everybody to the moment of presence. And I am Michelle with Moksha Grace Coaching. And I am here today with a special guest, Dax Dunn. And we are going to have a beautiful conversation today about um, the importance of having a coach, a mentor, a teacher. Um, to tell you a little bit about Dax Dunn, he over 33 years of helping other people, whether it's in real estate, mortgage broking, and he has started I would say a movement, Dax. Wouldn't you say that?
Yes.
IBI-UBU. Um, my well, before we get into the questions, let's bring our audience into the moment of presence and join us in being here now. So if you're not driving and you're in a safe spot where you can close your eyes, let's, all join in together and take that moment of presence. So we're going to take a big, deep breath in. We're going to hold it for 3 seconds and then big exhale. And we'll do it one more time. Big deep breath in. Hold it. Big exhale. Now, I don't know about you, Dax, but coming into the moment always is so calming.
I believe that our breath is literally the greatest tool that we have as a human being. That all of life is energy. And that when we can tap into that energy, we eat food, we drink water, but believe me, if we don't take a breath, we are not going to live. And when we're consciously breathing, we're consciously creating that state of being present. So absolutely, I am present. Love it. Love it.
Well, and tell us about the IBI-UBU.
Yes. So
Tell us more about that.
IBI-UBU is a philosophy that it came to my mind, when I was probably about 18 years old. And it just seemed to fit when somebody didn't get your thoughts, didn't agree with you, and it's okay. It's okay we agree to disagree. But agreeing to disagree sets up some sort of separation where IBI-UBU says, together, my thoughts and your thoughts make up this universal construct that we have called life. So I'm going to focus on me because I believe that there's a message that God put in me, or that the Spirit put in me, or that life has put in me, and that when I look around me and I see so many people doing so many different things, I have to respect that they have their own life and they're not on the same program I'm on. So I have to walk my path, but I must respect them in their path. So sometimes our paths are connected and we intersect, and sometimes we're in completely different universes, but it's okay because IBI,
And you
UBU.
too. And what a great message in, right now, right? The time right now that we're all going through. And we've had many conversations and we're, I think, pretty much aligned. What have you found to be the thing that's helped you the most stay present in this current environment, this current time that we're in?
It's a deep breathing.
Yeah.
Deep breathing from one moment to the next, but that introspective process of, finding your way of being okay. And one of the other great tools is being able to say, I don't know, I don't know gave me so much room to just relax and wait for the answer to come, whereas I should know, I'm intelligent, I have to find the answer, only creates anxiety and stress, you know?
Yeah. And that brings us to today's topic of sometimes we need help. We need help along the way to learn how to be present, learn how to come into our own philosophies, our own beliefs. And so, you know, you and I had a conversation the other day about, you know, coaches and people showing up in our life at the right time. So what has been your experience of working with a coach, and when was the first time?
You ever heard of Usain Bolt?
No, I haven't. Tell me more.
Usain Bolt, the fastest man in the world?
Oh, I'm thinking philosophy, Dax.
Yeah. Usain Bolt is the fastest man in the world. He happens to be Jamaican. I'm Jamaican, so we're very proud of him. But this guy, if you ever listen to him, you know, he talks about his coach and how much his coach played a role and still plays a role in terms of just holding him accountable, bringing his attention to things that he has no idea of. So I've always felt that a coach is a tremendous value. I've been lucky, you know, Steve, our neighbor, he's been one of my coaches from early on. I met him when I was 18 years old, and he was able to be a mentor and a coach. But for me, there's nobody that I've observed who's achieved any type of excellence, whether it be a singer, a business person, an athlete, an artist. They all have a coach. Maybe they don't call it a coach, maybe they call it a mentor, maybe they call it their inspiration, maybe they call it their administrator. But to me, a coach provides that reflection, that I can't see behind me. You know, I can't see the back of my head. Actually, I can't even see the nose on my face, you know, but
Right.
in a mirror, I can. And I find that the coaching process is such a powerful tool to look at where we are, to see the subconscious and give us that opportunity to really be our best, to find those weak spots, those, you know, those hidden, you know, conditions that we've created that hold us in a certain state. So to me, everybody should have a coach, especially if they want to excel, especially if they want to create change, especially if you're just not happy where they are right now.
Yeah, yeah. Have you ever been surprised by something that a coach has led you to uncover?
I'm surprised every moment in life that life is a surprise, that when you realize that not knowing is the only way you can learn, then being surprised is a blessing. And yes, there's so many times that a coach, you know, okay, so me personally, Steve was probably Anthony Robbins. I used to listen to his audios on a, you know, radio station. People like, you know, Napoleon Hill, Zig Ziglar, all of these people on the radio were motivational coaches, personal development coaches that, you know, I've had the opportunity to work with. For me, the first time I actually paid a coach was when I was doing a program called The E-Myth. It's the entrepreneurial myth, and it's by Michael Gerber. He wrote a book. I read the book. I tried to implement his philosophies just from reading the book. After 6 months of frustration, I decided, you know what, there must be a better way. Let me call him. I called the company and I spoke to a coach. It took me a couple of weeks to really convince myself that this was worth it, but it's one of the best investments I've made, and I definitely feel that anybody who is thinking about trying to, or anybody who's trying to make a change, and you're not getting the results, look at getting a coach. I think I know that Michelle, Moksha Grace, is a great coach. So I definitely think you're in the right place, and this is definitely a great process that you're offering. And I'm excited to see you and your clients get amazing results.
Yeah. Thank you for that. And we've known each other for a while, and we've kind of walked this path. And
well, and you've been coaching me through that process too. So I will tell you, I got some free coaching as your neighbor, and I definitely will. I look forward to I'm very interested in looking forward to getting into you coaching me personally. So yes.
Well, we can talk about that later. Absolutely, maybe over dinner. But what you were saying before made me it reminded me of a conversation that we had. So I, started the journey, and then I would come into different books, or somebody would suggest a book to me, and somehow I landed on these videos that I started watching, and that were very inspirational. And I think you know who I'm talking about. And I remember we were talking one day, and I said something about the law of attraction, and putting it out there. I forget what term I used, and we both went, oh, we're both listening to Abraham Hicks.
Absolutely.
And I remember that moment, because I remember thinking, I need to find myself some friends, people, because who you surround yourself with is
some more weirdos.
Who you surround yourself with is what you're going to take in. And so I was like, and here I am literally in my own backyard on our own street. And I think there's like 3 or 4 of us on the street that are all, fans of Abraham Hicks. And so I think that sometimes you just have to be vulnerable and kind of mention what you're doing, because you never know what you're going to find.
Absolutely. I think that love is the thing. That love is a word that we all know, we all use. I feel that the big difference in love is that there are people who are looking for love, and there are people who are living in love. That living in love is this gift that I don't need anything. I'm gonna give love, because the more love I give is the more love I find, and that changes everything, as opposed to that person who is guarded, who is uncertain, who is insecure, and is looking for that love before they can give love. That's a completely different life experience. So you're a lover, you give love, you bring love into life, and I definitely think that that's something I agree with, and that it just makes life so much easier.
Yeah. And I think that when you look at, and I've come over and we've talked, and you've coached me as well. And I think that in the last few years, especially, we were really, it's kind of like our street was what we had. And so, but our conversations and looking at what we see versus allowing the world to show us what we don't want to see, or not that we don't want to see, but that isn't in our reality. And I think we had very different experiences than the majority of people in the world from the last 3 years, because of our mindset.
Are you familiar with Joe Dispenza?
Yes, very much so.
he said something this morning, and it's something I know and I believe. He was saying that our reality is being created, and then we're experiencing it. And unfortunately, lots of people are looking at reality and then experiencing it. And that when you're aware that your vision is going to dictate your experience, then you'll start having a clearer vision of what you want for yourself. So if you're looking for happiness, you're not going to find, well, you can find it, but it is fleeting, because you don't own that happiness. But when you're able to say, I am happy, no matter what's going on, I'm going to be happy. I'm going to start from a happy place. And then let things come. Those things, good or bad, you
Right.
know, and that's just a label, really, you know. But those things come and you go, okay, I'm happy. Let me see how I'm going to find happiness in this. It makes all the difference for me, and I see it in your life as well. So I think having a vision of how you want life to be is that starting point. And a coach helps us remove those conditions that we've created for ourselves. All of those, well, you don't know all of my real problems, so you don't understand why I'm feeling this way. No, you're feeling this way because you've chose to create these conditions and identify with these feelings. We want, as a coach, you want to help people to rethink those feelings, to find those happy places and the things that really inspire and excite us to get going on that rather than stuck in the, you know, whatnot.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's always interesting because when I talk to potential clients, they'll come and they'll, you know, fill out the form, and it'll say that this is their problem, you know, XYZ. But then when we get talking, that's really not the problem. It's something that's like 5-10 layers deep.
Yes.
But once that is addressed, everything else opens up.
Absolutely.
Everything else. And I
I have
think
to ask you, what's your first experience with coaching?
So obviously there were great teachers that I've had, you know, throughout the years. And so I consider them coaching to a point. But my first real experience with someone that was a coach was in corporate America, right? When I worked, you know, in an executive position, and they assigned me a coach in a coaching program. And later, and I'll skip real quick forward, because later I invested in myself and hired a coach. And so the differences that I saw were that in the executive program, they were coaching me to conform and fit in to their idea of me. Where when I invested in a coach and, you know, knew what I wanted as far as setting my own intention, it was about me. It was about discovering me. It wasn't about creating a Michelle that fit into a role. And it was very different.
So I would suggest that the difference is coaching. Sometimes people call training coaching. Right. And they're trying to, you know, fit you into their system, and they're training you to behave the way they want, and they call it coaching. But really, coaching is about allowing you to find your way, to be your best, to reach your full potential. That I'm sure Usain Bolt's coach, if he didn't have the talent, would tell him, listen, let me coach you into going to find a whole different sport, you know. But he has the talent. And that, you know, we know when we have a talent. We know when there's something that we do and people respond to us in a way that gives us that reassurance, that gives us that, you know, confirmation that, hey, you are doing something different. You're doing something special. It doesn't have to be better, you know, it just your way is good. I like it. And I think that being a coach, is definitely the right type of coach. The coach that allows that person, first, you give that person the room to be themselves. And then from there to look at the things about themselves that they may not want to really face or address, and then start working on, you know, being, I don't like the word work on yourself.
Right.
Because it really is about letting go of all of the conditions you've created for yourself, you know, and just being yourself, you know, allowing yourself to flow, not trying to become somebody else, you know.
Right. Absolutely. Because, and I say this all the time, and not a lot of people know it. It's like this well-guarded secret. We have everything we need inside of us, but we've put up walls and barricades and blockages because we're hiding from something, whether it's fear, whether it's old beliefs. And for me, that's what diving in, and getting coached is all about. And I know that you help people do that with investments and moving into a new home, and those are scary things to be looking at.
Well, here's the thing. After 33 years of doing it, one of the things that is so clear to me is that you can't get somebody to buy a house. I don't sell houses. I'll help people to achieve their dreams. So, if somebody comes and they go, well, it's never going to happen for me, I go, okay, you're probably right, and I allow them to accept that they're making that choice. And eventually they get to that choice of, if I wanted to buy a house, what will I have to do? And then we start down that path. But there's no question. It's about the individual and their intention. And that whether you as a coach, whether me as a mortgage broker wants to help somebody, they have to have it in their heart. They have to, I have a friend, I told you the story. I won't go into all the gory details of it, but he passed away probably about 6, 7 years ago. And after he passed away, I felt his presence. I felt him visit me. And the answer, I asked him, what's going on over there? What can you tell me about life? And he said, Daxy, all conditions are created. And when I think through that and I realize we are creating all of the limitations in our life, and having a coach is one of the first and most powerful steps to recognizing what we need to let go of, how we can, be more aware,
right?
How we can calm the chaos, and breathing deeply is great. But if you're not willing to look within and you don't know where to look, and I'm telling you, that coaching process is really about the introspective, self-reflective, where and who am I question, without being afraid to really go deep enough. Because sometimes, we don't want to explore that other side. We don't want to go really, really deep. We want to kind of just keep being acceptable.
Right, exactly. Well, I know that we could go on and on and on, and I'm inviting you back for another. We'll have to call it like I don't know, volume 2. But
the
we'll
conversation. Let's just call it the conversation. Yeah, no numbers. We're not counting. We're just being present.
I love it. So if people want to find you, Dax, if they want somebody who has heart and spirit like you to help them move forward with a home, creating a home for themselves and a life, where can they find you?
Well, so IBI-UBU.me is the website that we want to help anybody in the world who wants to just reconnect with themselves, to trust themselves as far as finding their way. IBI-UBU.me is there. We do a radio show on a local AM station called WAVS 1170. It's an AM station in South Florida. For real estate and mortgage, we really focus on the South Florida area, but IBI-UBU.me is a global movement, a community of individuals. There's no, you're going to be partnered with anybody. It's all about you and our coaching team supporting you to find your way. And Michelle, I want to share this on my social media platforms. So please share, how does somebody get in touch with Mocha Grace Coaching? Tell us more about Mocha Grace Coaching and what we want to, know. Who is your audience?
Well, great question. My audience is anyone who wants to step into the life that they know they're supposed to have, but they don't know why they don't have it. Yeah. Right? When you're blinded to that and you're stuck, you're feeling stuck and alone and unmotivated. and getting through life, you know, and letting the chaos take you over. So they can find me at mokshagrace.com. They can find me on social media, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. We have a YouTube channel now, all Moksha Grace. You know, moksha means freedom. And that's exactly what I help my clients find, is that internal harmony so that they can have freedom in their life.
Would you say if somebody is looking to wake up, to open their eyes and really get into the game of life, they should be calling Moksha Grace?
They need to do some inner work, and holding, you know, having somebody hold you accountable, having somebody with you while you look at those dark, deep, dark shadows and triggers, and we get rid of all the gunk, Dax. We get rid of all of it.
You know, when you want to let go, they say lose your mind, the rest will follow, right?
Right.
When we want to let go, the fear of letting go without a coach is that you're going to lose your mind and get crazy, you know. But having a coach that's encouraging you and kind of hold you back, bring you back into that balance. That's the key.
Right.
Coaching is about bringing balance into your life, calming the chaos. All right, I gotta run. It's been
be safe out there because it's raining hard. So please be safe.
Thank you, and continue having a fantastic show. I'll be tuning in, and I'll definitely be sharing it with my audience.
All right, wonderful. Thank you so much, and I can't wait till our next conversation.
Stay well.
All right, you too. Bye-bye. So everybody, thank you for joining us, and I'm excited for our next conversation with Dax. We'll have to see when we can get that planned, but definitely check him out, and go to mokshagrace.com. You can learn more about me and what I do with my clients. The techniques that I will teach you are going to help you, like Dax and I were saying, just surrender, relax, and feel that freedom. So if you're ready, book a call, because that call is going to help you get really clear on exactly what it is that you do need and help you move forward. So I look forward to talking to you guys, and see y'all next week.